haven't done very many streams this session, or this season. But I guess I'd go ahead and do one. I'm gonna run a tier 7. See what happens. Thanks. Hellborn. Story about life, man. Once again. Still no Hellboard. How about that? want lords. That's horrible. I guess we're taking this one just because we don't want the lords. Good. It's been a horrible run. If I wasn't recorded, I'd probably quit and start over. Saying something's down here, but there's nothing here. There's... Okay, I guess we're taking... Hellfire spawns a hellboard. That sounds exciting. Better than nothing, I guess. See. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Normally by now I should be at 3,400. So this is a bad run. Well, at least I haven't died. That's a bonus. This, no. That, no. So the only option we have is that. The other stuff just takes too long to kill and just traps you. Doesn't allow spawns to happen, so. The lords and freaking butcher. But I think they should give Barbarians the teleport option. Take it away from the sorcerers so we can fly around instead of always being slow. There's a Hillborn summon. Finally, after wave 8. Going into wave 8. Last wave. And of course I get nothing but trash. I don't want a lord. We don't want a lord. So we're taking that. We don't really want any of them, but that's what we're taking. Just bad. Not many points at all. Now we get to see the bosses. Now trust me, this is painful. We've been nerfed heavily. But we do okay. I'll go over my stats and stuff here in a second. Not world record time, but it got done. That's a good thing. So I ended up with 404, which is extremely low. What I always suggest doing is taking the greater equipment here in the middle, then, especially if your equipment or your gear isn't 12 of 12 upgraded, then take all materials. And the reason why is because it gives you the upgrading materials. On this level, it's 25. On tier 8, it's 30. And it adds up pretty quick. So, That will help you upgrade. And I'm sure at this point in the season, you probably already know that if you play. Alright. So that run we got, and I don't remember how many I had. I would say probably about 1,000 of the upgrade materials, so not too shabby. Not great. Maybe not, maybe more like 800. And for gear, basically, I'm looking at more than 2 stars for everything. And the reason why is I'll go over the gear. Of course, I need to get some equipment with the mythic uniques with the freaking stars, but yeah, it's not that important to me right now. And last but not least, I'll go over this just so you can see what I run. It's a variation of Rob's. It's just that I've changed a few things. Of course, I run exploit here. And this is the starter board. Then I come up and the Warbringer board, I use here, there. And I don't go over to the resist. I go down to the extra damage, and the reason why is my resists are capped just from the Tyrell's Might. Then I come up and go over, and this one is the Carnage board. And we use the Might aspect. Go up, grab Berserking. And then we come over to the Blood Rage board. And we use the Twister glyph. Now this one I did do a little bit different. I took sort of the boss board that Rob uses, and I adjusted this board to grab these additional strength nodes because they're right here, which helps give, I don't know what, another 150, 200,000 damage to Twister. So it's just a mixture of the board that he says to run and then using that. Then we come over and we do the Decimator board. And on this one we run Disembowel. Just enough points for the bonuses, of course. Don't want to... The bleed is nice and everything, but what you're looking at here is just the extra damage. And the reduction of the cooldowns. So we only grab the minimum there. And then we're going to come down, and this board is different. What I did for this one, this is the Bone Breaker. And instead of just coming around and going straight down, I took last season's Bleed board, where we had Wrath in the same board, and I followed that pattern around, which gives me a little bit extra critical strike damage. Just something I was trying to get over 7,000 critical strike, in which I did, and just something I was doing. I changed it up. And this board I changed around. It's Flawless Technique. But what I did on this board is I also used a variation of last season's board where that I take the critical strike damage here. I just spin it a different way than what Rob says to use it. And then I put the Martial Glyph in there and get the minimum points, of course. And the damage reduction to close. So with that said, here are my overall stats. As you can see, my attack, power, armor, and life. So my strength is solid. It's not great, but it's good. My resists are over 70 at 84.6. The cap's 85. .2 critical strike chance with the 7,073 damage. All damage is at 964. When I'm fighting, it gets up to like 1,600 or something like that. Of course, damage while berserking, you want it as close to 300 as possible, and that's because on the Blood Rage board, 300 gives you the 30% cap bonus. Of course, my armor's over the cap, but there's not really much you can do about that. That's with the Harlequin's Crest giving you the armor, and you really don't have armor on anything else. It's just the way it goes. All damage reduction. And then the other one, of course, important one is the damage reduction to close. And something I just added was a barrier bonus because I used the Iron Skin. 21%. I figured on, let me see, on 46,000 life, if you get 15k because you hit it, you know, when you lose 15k or something like that, you get 70% of the life that you're missing as a barrier. So I figured if you get, 15k, 21% of that would be 3k or something, so it would add a little bit additional. Just something I'm jacking around with. Movement speed, nowhere near capped. I wish it was, but it's not something that is probably going to ever be. Of course, crowd control duration. Berserking duration. Lucky hit to vulnerable. I did drop a little bit of that, add some strength. I do run the anger management aspect, and the reason why is because if I'm around monsters, my cooldown timer on my Warbringer is roughly about 5 seconds. If I'm not around monsters and I'm fighting single targets, I'm looking at 9 seconds. The actual time frame on my Berserk, whenever I use Warbringer, is about 5.5 seconds. So if I'm around a lot of monsters, it works. Where that I wouldn't need to use anger management because I like the extra damage whenever I'm fighting less monsters like bosses, then I do use the anger management skill there. But since I use anger management, instead of putting the extra points into yell, which would activate damage reduction based off of my shouts, I just didn't put it down here and get the 12% all the time because usually I'm always berserking. So this is the way my skill tree goes. I just have 2 points at any one of these. You can pick any of the basic skills, it doesn't matter. I just put it in Lunging Strike. I have 1 point in Whirlwind, and I only go to the Enhanced Whirlwind. All the rest of these are bonus points in here. So I have 9 items or points contributing. Put 2 points in Pressure Point, so I get the 20% additional chance to make enemies vulnerable. And everything else is basically going to be standard. You're looking at 3 into Opposing Presence, Vigor. You have Rallying Cry, which I put 1 point over to Strategic. Iron Skin. Down to Tactical, which heals you, which is like having additional potions. I mean, when you have this up I think it's up like every 7 seconds for me, 8 seconds. I can't remember. It's like having additional health. And of course I use Thorns for the bleed. Of course, Challenging Shout over to Tactical. Of course, we have War Cry over to Power. We have 3 in Raid Leader, 3 in Booming Voice. We go down and we have 3 in Pit Fighter. We have 3 in Slaying Strike. 1 in Thick Skin. And 3 in Counter Offensive. And then of course I have Call of the Ancients, which basically I use this just for the bonuses, the attack speed bonus and the increased damage. I mean, the monsters do some damage, but nowhere near if I actually put stuff in it. Of course, I have Heavy-Handed, which helps with the multiplicative on the critical strike. I have Wallop. And last but not least, we have Unconstrained. So that pretty much wraps it up. Anyways, hope everyone has a good day and thanks for watching.
Your return